Hello, welcome back to Oracle DBA tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about internal locks or latches. So as you see, this is what we are doing. We are discussing about types of locks in last couple of videos, and we have already discussed in detail about DML locks and DDL locks. And in this video, we are going to discuss about internal locks or latches. So before we want to discuss about internal locks and latches, let's try to understand a couple of recall of whatever we learned from our database architecture and Oracle server architecture videos. Okay, so this is our Oracle database is consist of an instance and some data files, and there are a couple of background processes, and there is a memory structure. And if you recollect, that memory structure is called SGA or shared global area. And this SGA also consists of multiple things, like one of them may be buffer cache. Let's say this is the buffer cache, and then we have another thing called shared pool and so on. Let's say we have one user, and that user is going to uh, do some kind of insert, update, delete kind of statement. Let's say this guy is doing right now a update table t and then set say a is equal to 1. So as you know, like for this SQL, so there will be a dedicated server process which is basically catering to this session, to this client, and when this update things comes in, what it's going to do, it's going to, the dedicated server is going to go and then change the buffer cache. Okay, so change the buffer cache. So while this, so basically this buffer cache is nothing but an internal data structure, right? So this data structure is going to change that one. So imagine at the same time, exactly at the same time, same minute, same second, same millisecond, so another guy who is going to also do update set a is equal to 1, same table, same thing. That means set a is equal to 2. Okay, so the first transaction is updating right now. So while this thing is being updated, and second one is trying to go on and access this data structure. So that means what we have, say for example, you have a linked list, or you have any data structure. Okay, so one process is basically modifying that data structure, and at the same time another person wants to go and then try to access that resource, then conflict will occur. So notice that these are the things that we are doing is not, in the internal, in the memory. Okay, but whereas whenever we discuss about DDL lock, DML lock, we are always discussing about something on the data blocks here. Okay, so therefore they are different locks, and then to prevent this kind of conflict to occur, to prevent internal data structure being modified twice at the same time, Oracle is going to lock this internal data structure using a very lightweight lock, the lightweight lock, and that lock is called latch. Okay, so if you see the dictionary, latch and lock, they're same, but latch you can say that's a small lock. Okay, something that I can just easily, like, it's very short time. Okay, so once this modification is done by the user number 1, then this latch is going to be removed automatically. Then what's going to happen is that other users, like other session who is requesting for the access to this to this area in the internal memory structure, they just need to wait. Okay, they need to wait, or what they will do, basically they will just sleep. Okay, they'll sleep for a very fraction of time, and then they'll come and see if the latch is already there or not. Okay, so there is no mechanism like a queue. Okay, there is no mechanism like a queue, like let's say, like another session also trying to access the same this thing, right? So basically the first one is now getting the latch, and then user number two and number 3 are sleeping and then checking if user number 1 is done. So whoever goes first, like say, even user number 3 comes last, but whenever it's going to go and check if the latch is already done, if there is no latch, then it can grab that latch. Okay, so there is no rule of thumb that okay you are you are in the queue so that you will get first. So this is like a mob rule. Okay, so it's a mob rule. So there is a mob of request session is basically waiting to access this thing. So and everybody is slipping and checking, and then whenever somebody is getting that one, he just gets that session is getting the latch and then moves on. Okay, and then this is very lightweight. So lightweight means this some sort of serialization is being done in in the code, so that it will these things compared to the actual locks that we get in DDL and DML. Then this is also called NQ. Okay, or a lot of times in a report it should show you NQ locks. Okay, and then whenever we have a very highly OLTP system where a lot of transactions are going on, okay, then you should see a lot of NQ log, and then especially if you are trying to update the same row multiple times, then you should see a lot of latch contention coming up, and then we'll show you in very much in detail whenever we are going to explain you in some examples. So with this, I think we have completed the locking types of lock. So in 3 videos we discussed DML locks, DDL locks, and internal locks. And then most likely, right? So you take a scenario where you probably a lot of times you'll have a lot of DML locks. Okay, and remember, locks are the most contentious issues. They degrade the performance, and then you never try to allocate a lock yourself. Let Oracle do it for you, and then it depends on the application, how you design your application. In that way, lock contention may get worse. But there is nothing to tune from locking point of view. It's all self-tuned, all done by Oracle.